going on, guys? Welcome to the TNT podcast, the Taj and Tory podcast. We are on episode 9, I believe.
I feel like it's 9.
I forget. I don't know.
I feel like it's 9.
We're trying to get to 10. That's the main goal before I, graduate. So, So right now we have the pleasure of having my people, my guys, 2 brothers in the house tonight. You feel me? Ugo, Easy, and Iffy. Easy. Did I get the name? Did I get the last name right?
Exactly. Yeah,
perfect for sure. So we going talk about how they came from, where they came from. So I'm glad y'all on it for real.
Yeah,
appreciate y'all for being on.
Tour. The disclaimer.
Of course.
Did you say it?
Wait, I got it.
I'm just saying. I'm saying you just forgot to introduce me.
I know. Bro, it's been a long day.
My name's TJ.
I'm doing finals, bro. It's been a
name's
long.
Taj. I go by TJ.
It's been a long week, my bad, bro. For real. My name is Tory. For real. That's my brother here, TJ.
Yeah. Welcome.
We here at Salle University, my university. So all views, thoughts, and opinions expressed are my own, and do not express the views, thoughts, and opinions of Salle University. So without further ado, bro, let's get to know my guys for real. So
sure.
We're both seniors. We're all seniors. You know what I mean? It's a final sketch for us. You know what I mean? We graduate Saturday.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
No, bro.
Still hasn't yet.
Does it feel real for y'all yet?
No, really doesn't.
It still hasn't hit me.
It never does. It never
I've been
does.
so-
It hasn't hit me yet.
I'm so locked in with finals, just taking it day by day by day.
Word.
I think when it gets to like Friday or so,
Word.
Friday night,
Yeah,
it'll
that's
really
when
just sit in my head like, damn, I'm graduating.
Facts,
I'm
bro.
done.
Facts.
So I'm excited though.
For me, it didn't hit me until like right when I was about to walk across that stage.
Word.
Like, because I walked across the stage, I was like, "Yo, like this is real." And then when they handed me my the diploma, my tongue
You got
tied.
nice.
Yeah. But when they handed me the diploma, that was when tears started. I started crying,
Really?
bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's when it really hit me. Yeah,
It's real.
because when it hits you, it's gonna hit you hard, bro. It's gonna hit you hard.
It's crazy.
Because
It's
you've
like,
been here for 4 years, 4 years. So.
4 years.
What's
bro.
crazy is I have the biggest fear that they'll pronounce like my
Yeah.
name wrong.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like
I feel that.
Ugo, just
They would
say
say
it like that.
Ugo.
Just like Ugo, just say it
Really?
like that. I don't know.
No, if they say your full name, oh
Nah,
my
they can say my
goodness.
full name, so that's why I'm just gonna say it.
Nigerians, we have a full name, an abbreviated name.
Yeah.
My full name is Ifeanyi Chukwu, so I don't know whether they're gonna be able to say that
Dang.
when it
Yeah.
happens. Hopefully they'll just say Iffy. So
Did you let them know?
I let them know.
Really?
I let them know, and they said that
They don't ask you like what name you want to go by because
No.
they asked us.
Yeah, they did, but they said that there's a card that I have to fill out like before the ceremony that I'll be able to write down Iffy. So
Okay.
Yeah.
hopefully they don't forget about that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I can imagine, for real.
Just trying to butcher my name up there. It's not gonna be fun.
Especially when you have your family there, like
For
Right,
family
word.
there, been
Word.
working 4 years. I've been waiting for this moment, and then they just
Yeah.
Ifeanyi Chukwu.
Word, man, for sure. Talk about how you met. I don't know. I forget the story, but we all lived in Newman.
Yeah,
I know
so
that our freshman year.
from-
How did we really get to like meeting each other? I don't know. I forget.
From what I remember, like mostly is that we met at Newman, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if we were on the same floor or not. Because we were on the second floor. I don't know. If
We was on the first floor.
Yeah, first floor. Okay, yeah. But I guess we had mutual friends.
Facts.
So from there on, we just like clicked and
Word.
like we just like saw each other around.
speak in the same space.
Facts, for
And then
real.
eventually,
Yeah.
maybe it was one of us. I think you went up to them first, and
Word.
then
Yeah, I
just
think-
connected
yeah.
and just
Chill,
started
and
talking.
then-
Y'all always been cool. Y'all the homies for real. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So I'm glad to have y'all on for real. It's been long in the verse for real. So
I've been seeing some
Waiting.
episodes. I've been seeing different my friends and stuff
Appreciate
being
you,
on
brother.
here. So I've been
Definitely.
excited. I've been waiting for the
Sure.
invites.
No, I got you. I had to. For real.
It's been a long time.
Talk about so far, how's y'all senior year going, you know what I mean? It's been a long year for all of us, you know what I mean? So talk about, has been any challenges so far within your senior year? How's senior year been for the both of y'all, you know what I mean?
Oh, for me personally, I think the whole maybe first semester was a little bit more challenging,
Right.
but just senior year as a whole, I felt like it was a lot easier. It was a lot more relaxed than I thought it was going to be.
Really?
Junior year was a lot more work and stuff that I had to do, but then senior year, I guess I did all the framework before then, all the
Right.
classes that I had to take, all the harder classes that I took before. I guess senior year, I had the blessing. No Friday classes,
Oh, word.
easier classes like easy content and stuff.
That's
So
what's up.
not a lot of tests either. Not a lot of tests. So
That's
it was
what's up.
cool.
Yeah.
I just do the work and then just staying consistent, and I've been able to be successful so far.
Sure.
Been able to finish strong.
That's what's
How
up.
about you, brother?
For me, man, I'm telling you, this is so my grades wise, I feel like this has probably been my best.
Really?
I feel like yeah.
Congrats,
That's
bro.
what's
That's
up.
big.
Congrats.
For sure.
It's
Congrats.
big, but it's just like I feel like part of the reason why it's been that big is because like I've just had so much more like free time.
Definitely.
So much more like just like space, like just for all my work and stuff.
But you gotta use it wisely, though.
Yeah, I know.
Sure,
Yeah, using it
That's
wisely
true.
helped out
That's
for
true.
me.
You are.
Yeah, I mean, overall, just like having just that mindset, being like, okay, like school's almost done, like the
Gotta get my stuff
Last
together.
Dance, you know,
Right.
Michael
Last
Jordan.
Dance.
Wait, Michael Jordan,
all that stuff.
I just watched that like 2
Really?
days ago. It was on ESPN.
Right.
It's always something you could just put
Best
on.
Facts.
documentary ever.
That's it.
Best
Yeah, so like that's sort of how I felt. I'm just like, all right, just finish strong, and you know, go from there, make some connections, and
Word.
have fun because it's your last year.
Facts, bro.
Right.
And
He's been,
Yeah.
you know, sorry to cut you off. He's been telling me now, like, you know, just have fun. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I'm so zoned in on what I'm doing. Like I'm doing this podcast and all that. Like that's mainly all I'm focused on. You know what I mean? Low key, like you know, I've been up there with my grades and all that. You know, trying at least.
Didn't mean you
But
should kill it.
I know for real. But just kind of manage this podcast, dealing with different activities. You know, and then academically, it's been hard. I ain't gonna lie, for me at least. But I've been getting there, and I'm both low key. I'm like proud of myself. You know.
Yeah, you should be, bro.
I appreciate it, brother, for sure.
I could barely take care of my own stuff. I ain't have a podcast my senior year. So,
I feel that, for real.
you getting yourself together
Definitely.
and you
It's
doing
about
this. Like,
Definitely, for sure. And that's
Yeah.
that's one thing I'm learning now. Like, just trying to structure everything. I'm not really good at structuring things. I used to be good at it, but not really like now. Like with organizing like different assignments.
Right.
You know, trying to do a podcast, scheduling different guests. You know what I mean? I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get there. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Over
it's,
time,
it's
you know
definitely
what I mean?
scheduling is a
Definitely,
challenge.
that's the
for
hardest.
us.
Yeah, for sure for us. You know what I mean? But you know, with us seniors, you know, I hear a lot of the term of the word anxiety. They have people have different anxieties coming out of, you know, graduating and all that. You know, people are very optimistic. Some people either have jobs lined up, some people don't. You know, like me. Like I'm looking, bro.
Yeah, I'm still looking.
For sure, bro. So talk about that. Like, do y'all have any anxiety so far? Are y'all optimistic about the future? What is that? What's y'all headset at right now within going, you know, into the real world? You know what I mean?
I mean, for me personally, I have some anxiety, definitely, because you know we're gonna be graduating. Like it's the brand new phase in our life. It's a whole new chapter.
Right.
So it's just like that's gonna be there automatically. So just having that mindset that okay, just focus on what's in front of you. You know, plan for the future. That's the best way that you can handle it. So it's just
Right.
like that's how I deal with it.
Word.
So
The way I see anxiety, I mean, you wouldn't be human if you don't get anxious.
sure.
So
For
everybody
sure.
has to deal with it.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing you have to realize is that it's just all in your head, and it's
Yeah.
not really in reality. So you have control of what you can do in your life. So I just think of, yes, everything I did in the past, I loved it, I enjoyed it,
Right.
but I don't want that to define me. I want to look forward. And I always used to tell myself, is that what if it turns out better than you can imagine?
Ooh,
like
I
I
like
always
that, bro.
used to think
Mm-hmm.
about the
like
worst
that.
scenario. Oh, I don't have a job lined up.
Overthinking
Yeah.
I
stuff.
don't. What am I gonna do
Thinking.
after graduation? What's my next step?
Yeah.
Instead of just thinking about all the negatives and stuff, what if it could just turn out way better than you think?
love
Yeah,
that, bro.
glass
I've
half
been-
full
Glass half
mentality.
full mentality. So that's really been keeping me through it all, just keeping me sane. To be honest. So,
Right.
Definitely.
yeah.
Word. You know, talk about y'all majors real quick. I know you're a digital art major,
Digital
right?
arts major, yeah.
And are you a double major or?
So
forget.
dart major and marketing minor.
Okay.
That's
So
what's up.
it's sort of similar.
And I did management and leadership, and then I had a minor in sport management too. So that's
Right.
cool. Yeah, I've
sure.
been
So
taking
talk-
some cool courses.
Talk about that real quick. How do y'all like your majors? You know, obviously, you know, y'all come back and forth from the business school a lot. You're in the business school, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, talk about, you know, what have you learned so far within being, you know, with y'all majors. You know, like we'll talk about that a little bit.
Well, from my point of view, I've been able to learn a lot more about how businesses operate and like just the day-to-day functions, what to do, what not to do, and just getting a feel for it, just gaining the valuable experience.
That's what's up.
It's been really helpful for me, and I feel like from my freshman year to now, with all the projects that I've been able to work on in class, out of class, and just gaining the experience working with people around the business school, even like teachers, gaining connections and stuff, it's really been helpful, just really exposing it to you all. And from there on, I just think, I have to make the most of it now.
Facts.
I've gotten this great education, so
sure.
when I go into the future, I'll be a lot more confident. So the classes, my major, has been really helpful all throughout the 4 years that I've been here. So.
Wait, what about you, brother?
Honestly, for me, since I'm a dart major, I don't really have too many like tests like that. It's
Same.
mostly like projects.
Yeah.
Right.
So all throughout my years, I've been building the the portfolio mostly.
Word.
I've been just building it up,
Yeah.
making it so that like future people just can like see that
Facts.
I'm like just
Like marketing
well
yourself.
credited.
Yeah.
You got some,
Yeah.
you got some
Marketing
good pieces
myself.
in there too.
I got some good pieces right
Yeah,
now.
I took a look at it the other
I
day.
mean,
I
I'm
talk
not-
about
Yeah.
But yeah, for me personally, that's been the biggest thing as a dart major. So
Word. I want to talk about that with you
huge.
because I remember I was at the senior showcase. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
saw the different projects you had and all that.
Yeah.
And one of them was like a little sock thing, I think. What was that?
all right, so
Was that like
Yeah.
is that like a is that your business you trying to start up a little bit? Talk
yeah,
a little bit about
just-
that.
Oh,
Because it
something
looked
small.
dope for me.
I
From what I'm saying.
appreciate it, bro.
Sure.
So yeah, just something small, just like a sock business,
Word.
a sock brand. It's like a small niche that's like not
For
really
sure.
tapped in the industry
word.
because people have like clothing brands like
Definitely.
t-shirts, like pants, all that stuff. But
Right.
I feel like socks are just different.
Yeah,
And
it's mad different.
I
Unique.
feel like
Yeah.
just like selling that, like or just having like some ideas can be important. You know, just to have this, you know, in your back pocket.
Yeah.
You underestimate how important socks are. I play basketball a lot,
Man,
so
exactly.
I wear high socks, so I like.
I like the high socks too.
High
I
socks.
don't like
High
hooping in the
socks.
lows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the most.
I'm more of like an ankle
Yeah.
sock type.
Ankle
You,
sock.
you remember
Ankle
back in
socks
the
are
day?
different.
Yeah, nah.
Low key.
There's a saying like if you hoop in the ankle socks, like you a hack. You a hack. Everybody who hooping in the ankle
Now
socks.
that
be
I think
hacking.
about it, though, everybody that I've seen playing hoop ankle socks is just sort of.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Allen.
Exactly.
Allen.
And LA Fitness,
Allen,
is doing the most. Bro.
No socks is worse. No they playing UFC out there.
No socks.
No socks is
forces,
worse.
no
They don't care.
socks.
They don't care about nothing. They don't
Yeah.
be care about their
No
own
socks,
lives.
Don't care about their.
Hey, there's
no-
competition.
People with sandals too. I remember you was on a cruise.
I
maybe
played
Those are
somebody.
real menaces.
They weren't hoopers like that. They weren't hoopers.
Played somebody in Crocs. That was
Yeah, that's wild.
the worst.
That's
the
wild.
worst. Day, so.
You know, obviously you guys are two brothers, you know. So like, right? So talk about the different relationship y'all have. You know, I want to go back to a little family real quick. You know,
Right.
I always notice y'all. You know, y'all always close. I remember we was at a little grad party. What was that? Last week?
Yeah, like last 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was so fun. Shout out to Grace.
Grace,
you know
shout out
what I
to
mean?
Grace.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Grace real quick. And I just saw y'all was just, you know, having fun, just dancing together for real. So talk about how has the relationship with y'all kind of like grown over the years within like y'all college experience, you know what I mean? Obviously, you know, this is my brother right here. We all go through
course.
things, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
It's my ride or die right here for real.
Of
for real.
course.
So talk about, you know, the different, really, like, you know, how close has y'all been throughout your 4 years, you know?
I mean, I would go first.
Throughout y'all lives, y'all could be like general with it.
Word.
Like,
Yeah, general. I mean, I feel like it's just a lot different because like we're like twins,
Word.
so we didn't really have a choice but to be together all the
Facts,
time as
facts.
Word.
even as kids. So it's just like that's been building, and like you know building all these years, and like there's some moments obviously where we like you know fight and stuff. But
Facts.
that's
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
like, like
yeah,
we're
we brothers.
you know, brothers and stuff. But it's just like I feel like overall, it's just been solid. You know,
I feel like going to school with each other we've been going our whole lives basically.
we started
That's
time
dope.
wise, man.
Word.
So not only are we just getting used to each other, we know how each other operate. We're with each other all the time, and we have an older sister as well.
Oh, really?
That's
Shout
what's
out
up.
to shout out to the
27.
family.
Shout out to her girl. Yeah, I know you. I didn't forget about you. Either. But yeah, she's a lot older than us. She's 27,
Yeah.
so we're not really connecting with her like that. I don't go through the same stuff as her. So being a twin, same age, brothers and everything, we go through guy stuff together. We talk about a lot of personal stuff, and I just know that since I have him, like I always have like an automatic somebody to fall back to, somebody to tell my
Yeah.
problems, and
that's good to have in
it's
college.
good to talk.
Of
I
course,
know
yeah.
I know other twins, maybe because they're not boy twins and maybe boy girl. They're not as close as you think. Like they don't spend as much time together. They don't hang out outside of school. They have their own separate friends. Like
Right.
we've never really had that issue. So as we went to LaSalle, like have generally the same friends. He has different people.
Yeah,
that
people. I mean, yeah, like
Right.
we can't be together all the time.
All the
Obviously,
time,
like,
obviously,
like,
yeah.
We have like different lives, like,
Different
obviously,
niches
but
and
it's just
everything.
the fact that having someone who's like there, like you know, he can just like talk to a lot helps.
Yeah, man.
So much in
Right.
college.
For sure,
Definitely.
especially, you know, I preach this all the time. Like college is like, it could be the 4 years of the best years of your life, but it's also years of the most transformative years for yourself, filled with ups and downs. You know what I mean?
Of course. Yeah.
So and obviously I preach about this a lot. Like mental health is a big thing around college campuses and all that. So I feel like I don't know, y'all could talk about this yourselves. How has because we all go through certain different things. You know what I mean? So obviously you guys always see each other. You guys are roommates and all that. Talk about like whenever you guys are going through a rut. Do y'all have each other to rely on and all that? Talk about that.
One of the greatest things about having a twin is you have somebody to keep you accountable. Like, especially with him, he doesn't like to sugarcoat anything.
That's dope.
You
need that. We all need that.
I need that for sure. We all need that. But if it's something I'm not really trying to hear, he doesn't really care. He's gonna let me know. But underneath, deep down, I know it's good for me. He comes from a good place. So whenever I'm hitting a rough patch, she'll call me out on it. Or most of the time, I'm aware of my abilities and like whether I'm pushing myself, whether I'm taking a step back and just like slacking off. So I have that self-boss. I can be able to boss myself and just like get myself out of a rut. But if I'm not able to do that, I have somebody else that can help me out.
Yeah, I'm definitely that brother. And it's interesting, especially watching you as you've grown throughout your college career, because you started college when I was a senior. So I remember when Kobe died.
He was the first person I called.
Yeah, he was the first person I called. You called me, but like it was crazy because like when the news broke, it was like,
I remember that.
I
remember that
totally
day.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember
it was back at Newman too. I
Yes.
was at Newman.
Yes, we were all at Newman. I had Subway that day.
I just got out of the Uber picking up my Chipotle.
Yeah, so
group chat was blowing up.
So we was obviously all going through it that day. So
like
for me, I felt like it was cool to like have my brother.
Facts. Definitely.
It was some
Yeah,
dark day, man. That was a
That
dark
was
day.
a dark day.
Oh my gosh.
I say all that to say, like, as you've grown in your college career, I'm seeing you go through the same stuff that I went through, like, when I was in college. So, like, it's cool because I give him, like, advice, and plus I'm the overprotective one, so I do make sure he's good, make sure he's safe and stuff. So it's like,
Word.
I like seeing it from a different, like a younger perspective.
Yeah, you've been through all of it.
Because I've been through all of it.
Yeah, so you can give him that guidance that he needs if he needs it. But
I try to let him rock most of the time because he be acting like,
I be doing my own thing sometimes, but sometimes you need that person to kind of check you.
Yeah, no, definitely.
He be doing it for me, like for real. Like, talk about how do y'all, obviously y'all brothers, y'all rely on each other all the time. How do y'all kind of within your own self? Kind of like when y'all get out of a rut. I know y'all play basketball and all that. What's that kind of outlet for y'all, to kind of get away from, like, if you're dealing with something mentally, academically, or personally? How do y'all get out of that rut you're going through?
You hit it up straight on the head. Basketball, I love hooping. Whether it's watching basketball, playing basketball, 2K. I'm not that good at 2K anymore. I haven't played as much since high school, but watching basketball, playing basketball. I'm a big soccer fan too. So just taking myself away from my work, anything that's stressing me, I'll just watch it, play it, anything. Or I'll call my family too. Just talk to my sister.
Facts,
so they'll just talk about anything, like anything besides the stuff that's stressing me out. So it really just like resets my body, resets my mind. It's like puts me into perspective almost. So like there's bigger things that I'm worrying about. So.
Same thing like you said.
No, you go ahead. You go. I had another question after that.
I gotta stop cutting him off.
You good.
I'm cutting him off. So.
Yeah.
Nah, it's all good. He basically just said everything, but basketball for me, like, that has been my therapy. That has been my outlet. If I get stressed out or just like a certain stuff, it's just too much anxiety or stuff. I play basketball. My friends also help me out too. Just having this people who aren't always there help you out.
It's just support. Just having that support system.
Especially us men too. Like we go through a lot. Like,
they go through a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
We go through a lot.
It's kind of overlooked. I ain't gonna lie.
It's not common for men to talk about a lot of this stuff that they're
doing.
They don't really care. Like,
not about they
don't
don't
really
care. It's just they expect us to
Just
deal with it, man up and deal with it. Yeah,
that's what I mean. Yeah,
so once you have somebody to talk to, that makes the world of a difference.
Facts.
It makes the world of a difference.
And I sometimes bottle up my emotions, which is kind of bad, but I'm not really that vulnerable when it comes to dealing with different, like, friends or anything like that. Like,
I know exactly what
my friends, I talk to them a lot about, certain stuff, but they rarely know what's going on. You know what I mean? I try to.
That's something for TJ.
Right.
No, of course.
He's
Like,
my, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I'd be
like,
having my own issues. That's why I wanted to go and touch on the basketball thing a little bit. But like, other than that, like, I'm super not like vulnerable or super closed off, just because that's by nature that's who I am.
Yeah,
so
you just have
especially
to
with him,
guard up a little bit. That way you can protect yourself. Yeah, because I'm
especially
not
with him, like I don't want him to worry about me, so I be keeping like
Emotions,
a lot of emotion. I feel like I have to stay strong for him.
You're spitting
you know?
facts right now. Right? Like
So,
I don't want any of my siblings or parents just worrying about me. So I just
Exactly.
especially the
keep a
parents,
guard up,
especially
Especially the parents. Especially the parents. Because they're going to worry regardless, but you don't want to
you
have
don't
them
want to
worry
give them a
more.
real reason to worry. Yeah.
Exactly.
Word.
Yeah.
You might have to talk about the basketball.
Yeah. I wanted to touch on
The outlet. The
the
outlet.
basketball, because I completely relate to that. Like, especially with me, like going through what I go through. Like, basketball has been like very, 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 very important to me growing up.
It's like a safe haven.
You know, safe haven. So just touch on like how y'all got into basketball, what drew you to basketball, because we were talking a little bit about the playoffs before.
We're gonna get to that.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that too.
Yeah.
It's Lakers fans. I'm a Warriors fan.
They're playing right now.
They play at 10. Yeah. So just touch on a little bit about like what drew y'all to basketball for real.
I can honestly say that we had no training in basketball.
Really?
It was us and a TV screen. We just watching.
Wow.
Watching so much. Watching the first basketball game that I remember I watched was Kobe versus the Magic. I think it was in 2009.
Word.
That was the first game.
It was that NBA Finals.
That was the finals, yeah.
That was the first game. I was like, yo, this is huge. Like these guys, like basketball was like fun, and as a kid, like you don't really care what you watch, like sports wise. So I was like, all right, this is like the first time I'm actually hooked,
Invested in
like,
watching
exactly.
Yeah.
Invested into the sport. So, and then from there on, we just started playing outside, driveway, and people started to notice too.
Really?
That's right.
neighborhood
just
kids and
people-
stuff.
Yeah.
Y'all were nice, huh?
Yeah.
We like transitioned from like the neighborhood, the kids would be around, and then we played on like the local basketball team, and then we went a little bit higher, played for the school team, and then
After that,
had
just
high school, and then after that we just play on our own and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's funny thing is he was into basketball a lot more than I was beforehand.
Word.
I think I was more into soccer. I've been a soccer fan like my whole life.
That's what's
So once he got into basketball around like 9 years old or so, 10 years old, I just got curious. I was like, why are you always playing basketball? Why do you never get on the field anymore? So he just handed me the ball, and I was just shooting around, and I fell in love with it. So that's cool. I think it was fourth grade. I really figured out that we were actually pretty nice for our age.
yeah. Really?
We played 2-on-2 against like these. I think it was like they were freshmen at the time, sophomores.
Freshmen,
We were in
that's
fourth
right,
grade. We lost, but
Weird.
we lost by like 2 points or something. It was like a point, and they were going like full.
That's when you realize
like,
when you were a young kid and you playing against the older kids and you bust the older kids butt. That's really I'm kind of nice. I'm kind of alright at this.
I'm not terrible. It's like,
Yeah.
So as I just played more, I just started to love the game, and then that's when I found out about LeBron James. I know I sound like a fair weather fan, but I was a LeBron
good.
fan. I'm strictly LeBron fan. So
Yeah.
when he played like 2010, for last year he was in Cleveland. That was when I really started to watch basketball.
Yeah.
I really
that's
started
what
to enjoy
has been with us. And then
it ever since.
I can't even like fully remember who even like taught us how to dribble or like shoot like that. It was
I'd have
Really?
been my
It was more so y'all was watching
Yeah,
YouTube
just watching,
videos and
yeah,
just watching
a lot of
basketball
stuff.
for real.
Yeah.
We just
reacting,
we had each other, so we just,
reenacting
like,
the
played,
stuff.
yeah.
Like
Facts.
like you're in the driveway, it's like 3, 2,
it gets competitive.
Yeah.
It's getting mad
There
competitive.
used to be a
too.
lot of fights. Used to be a lot.
Yo, me and I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story.
Yeah,
We
tell me.
always play 1-on-1 like back when we were younger.
Oh yeah.
And it would always be competitive. He would always beat my ass. But,
All right. No, because we had rules. We had rules,
Yeah.
right?
I could.
get
I'm
him to
for
grind.
like, bro. I'm for.
We had to have
He's like
rules.
taller, like, bro.
Yeah.
We had to have rules. So I
You
could.
can't keep blocking
Yeah.
shots.
No.
Like, bro.
No. I'm gonna explain the rules. So I will explain the rules.
Hold on. He would always go to the rap with me too.
Nah.
I'm like, bro, come on,
Why?
bro.
Why?
Exactly, like, bro. He would stay.
No. Wait. That's why we had to. That's why we had to make up rules.
I'm tired of this.
That's why we had to make up rules.
No, bro, you can't.
Nah,
keep
nah.
going to
You
rap.
can't keep doing that, bro.
No,
Come on.
that's why we had rules. So so we had to make up the rule. I couldn't block his shot no more, and I couldn't go to the rack. I'd take all jump shots. I couldn't block no more. But so I would still win, but one day he almost got me.
No, I did.
One day, bro. No, you did. You didn't win. You didn't win. You didn't win.
One day, no.
You didn't win. You almost got me. You did not win.
You say two.
You won because
completely
you was getting me.
One day I completely won.
You didn't win. You did not win that game. You almost got me. You didn't win that game.
I won in socks, bro. I wasn't even wearing shoes.
No.
Socks is
Socks.
crazy.
After that.
Listen,
TJ,
All right,
Socks is
now you
crazy.
boosted. You didn't win that game. First of all,
Socks is crazy.
this nigga was on fire though. This nigga was hitting step back jumpers from like
You a shooter like that?
we got no, he a shooter. He the shooter in the field.
Oh.
But we got a long ass driveway,
You the
right?
shooter, Tori?
No, he the shooter. He the shooter.
You got a long ass-
No, I honestly say you a better shooter.
So
than
is
me.
he. So is he.
But so we got a pretty long driveway, right? So the basketball court we had at the top of the driveway. So this dude was pulling from here,
Damn. Whoa.
step back, like on some Curry
I
stuff,
don't know how I was making
making him.
Curry type stuff.
And mind you, I can't block his shot, so I can only just like kind of stand in front of him.
Yeah.
I bet.
So you can't.
Like, I can only like stand in front of him, but he like.
Jeez.
I kept.
I was
Tori got the ratchet.
Tori got the ratchet.
Nah, he hit me with the triple threat jab.
It's a mellow.
Yeah, on some mellow shit. Jab right, step back. This nigga's right here. Imagine how long our driveway is. That shit was a rainbow.
Yeah, Tori, I didn't know you got it like that.
All
That's
day.
it.
I be keeping it on the low. But there was sometimes I was driving to the rack with you too, like when I was like hitting it.
No, yeah, but he was like that. He not really like that no more. But he was like that when he was younger.
Because I got my.
You don't play like that no more.
Nah, I got my influence from 2K, bro.
2K?
Like, literally.
It was
I'll
definitely
play a game, and then the day after we would like go outside and play on our driveway, and I would just be like hitting everything. Like,
Everything.
It would just be
You just
2K,
confused, like-
Yeah, no, it really be like you just watch and play like playing 2K. Like
That's how it is.
that's really how a lot of people
That's
get good
literally
at
how it
playing
is.
basketball,
Word,
bro.
bro. Yeah,
Like for
it
me, it was more so like YouTube video. Like I remember, I think the first game I watched because I've been watching basketball my whole life. I think the first game I watched was like Shaq and Kobe in 01.
Oh yeah. Wow. A lot longer.
But I remember really getting attached to basketball because of D Rose. And
He was special.
yeah, I wanted to be just like D Rose.
He was D Rose and mine was LeBron. For real.
Yeah, and but like around that time when D Rose was pop, like I was playing baseball, but D Rose got me back into playing basketball. So
So explosive.
like yeah, from that era, like I just became a basketball junkie. So like I found myself getting really good really fast just from watching the game.
Yeah. That's exactly how.
That's how a lot of
That's
people
just
get really
how
good
we
at the
do
game.
this.
Not everybody
Watching
has.
so
Not everybody needs a coach or something to go to a bunch of practices and stuff. That's good later on, but just getting like to know the game, all you gotta do is just watch a basketball game, watch the
Real.
NBA,
Real.
go on YouTube, look
Because
up some
all the
basketball.
nuanced stuff
all
that
that.
trainers be really teaching you, that's gonna come to you naturally.
That-
Just
that
watch
does
the
come
way
to you
other
naturally.
players, like pros, the way they do it.
Yeah.
You know,
That's how
it got to a point where I didn't receive formal basketball training until I was in high school.
Yeah, you
And
right.
so a lot of the drills that we were doing, like as far as like individual like performance drills, like a lot of them just became second nature to me because I
See,
was already watching
You're
like the pros
it
do it.
constantly, man. That's the difference between people that love the game and people who just do like the game. They're not as invested.
Exactly.
Like, it's
Because
all-
a lot of top high school, I know for me, like in high school, a lot of the really good players, they didn't watch basketball like that.
yeah, so
Like
yeah.
they received the formal training when they was like little kids. They were predetermined that they were going to be good.
Yeah,
at
So,
yeah,
basketball.
good already,
I
yeah,
already
for
have
a
it set in
young
stone.
age.
I'm gonna be pretty nice when I'm
Facts.
out.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't need to be invested as much.
A lot of them really don't really mess with the game like that
That's the difference.
because they it's been put on them at such a young age and they got all these expectations about them. A lot of them really don't get attached to the game like that.
Like
You know?
Sad.
like mostly it's like a business. I feel like rather than like a love for the game. I feel like it is nowadays.
Just doing it because you
Like,
have
some
to, or
players.
just doing it because it can take you somewhere else.
Yeah.
Facts.
Like, but
Facts. We're seeing that
That's
a
how
lot
it is
now within
a lot more now.
AAU and all that.
oh, the NIL deal. Some people.
Yeah.
But-
Talk about because I know you was like talking about I definitely beat you, bro. Don't even trip. Don't even like. Try
I
to-
do not recall you
Bro,
beating me that
bro,
day.
stop playing,
I feel like I did some BS and I came back on you, but you
really don't
Yo,
know,
bro, you
didn't beat me that day.
Yes, I did, bro. I wouldn't lie about that, bro.
I don't know. You're hearing two
Bro, I
different stories right now,
completely-
man.
I was in socks and you was in full on.
I was wearing slippers. I was definitely wearing
I was in
slippers.
Socks is
socks.
crazy.
If you won, I'll give you that because it was a mad long ago.
The socks is crazy, though.
I remember it, but I don't remember
It was
you
a close
winning.
game, though. It was a close
It was definitely close.
No, I won, bro.
I will give you that because I don't really remember everything. I'll give him
It was
that.
the only time I ever won against him.
Really?
For real, for real.
And that's to stay in your mind.
Bro,
You're not taking this away
Bro,
from me. Like,
this dude was
yeah.
hitting everything.
That's what I'm saying.
Everything.
So if I was
Like,
hitting everything, I won. Like Just
To
saying.
you.
Okay.
To you. But I'm going to give you that because I don't really remember everything. But I remember you just hitting some nuts.
All right, bro.
Like,
All right. Talk about that. Did y'all ever play against each other? Like, was y'all ever competitive?
We
like,
used to play
We were the most
all the
competitive.
time, 1-on-1. I think we stopped playing probably against like
Yeah.
middle school
Really?
and stuff
Okay.
because we were just tired of fighting all the time. And like, as soon as it would be over, it would just be so awkward in the household. Like,
bro, it was real
we just
beef
wouldn't
between.
talk to each other at all the rest of the
Yeah.
night.
Serious beef.
Like that's when it got like really serious, like game point, like next basket wins type stuff. I'm not gonna lie, there were times I used to cry. I was a crybaby when I was little. Like you can second attest to that. So when I lose, I was a sore loser. All that, I was an ugly
Right.
loser and everything. So as I got older, matured and stuff, I realized it's not that deep. It's just
It's competitive.
It's just competitive. It's just basketball.
Yeah.
Like
You try to win every game.
you're trying to win everything,
so
but
that's what matters.
at the end of the day, if I'm still breathing, if I'm still walking and everything, I think that's a win for
Facts.
sure.
Facts. Same.
Yeah.
What?
Talk about, let's get back to college real quick. This is kind of a different topic I wanted to touch on real quick. We talked about this before the show, of what y'all thought about it. I feel like, we're all, black, we're all, African American, talk about, kind of going to a college and like just being different from everybody or anything like that. Going to a PWI or anything. Has there ever been, be completely honest, has there ever been any challenges within that aspect of it? Being like, hey, like, dang, like I kind of got to prove myself a little bit more.
I want to touch on this.
In order to like,
definitely.
be successful
You're spot on.
academically, because we often get looked at like, oh, he's not that smart just because,
Really?
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
so talk a little bit about that. Has there ever been a time where y'all really had to like prove yourself because y'all black?
So it was more so like early on years at LaSalle, like probably freshman, sophomore year. I was in a lot of classes where most of the time there'd be like maybe one other black kid.
Right.
So not that I would come into it
Yeah,
thinking like,
exactly.
oh,
you
I
don't
have
think of it
to,
like,
you know,
you don't think of it like
but
that,
then
right.
sometimes you kind of know it's like,
It's like, wait a minute.
yeah, you know what I mean?
You
Like,
really just clock
but
it.
it doesn't really like
Yeah.
affect you like that. You just gotta keep going. You just gotta
Yeah.
keep going, just
For
keep
real.
going. And so, yeah, more earlier my freshman year, sophomore year, I had like this thing in my mind. I was like, damn, I really have to prove myself. Like I belong here. It's like I'm not just here on some BS or anything. I'm here with you.
here,
Like I'm
yeah.
nice. But it's junior and senior, I really just started to like mature in my head and just think like, bro, it doesn't matter what they think. I don't have to prove myself to anybody. Like I know I belong here. I know I'm good enough. I know I'm smart enough to be in this classroom with everybody. And once I got past that, I just didn't care anymore. I just did. That's when my grades really started to like rise, like socially interacting with people in my class and stuff. Back then, my freshman and sophomore year, I was too in my head. I was just thinking about stuff that wasn't even like existing, something that wasn't even happening. Like, and then, actually, no, I'll talk about that afterwards. You can,
Wait.
You can say it.
I mean, bro, all of what he's saying is exactly how I felt too.
Right.
So
It's
it's just
hard
like I
not
can't
to.
really like say that I felt like I didn't feel like I was belonging there. I
Yeah,
guess,
yeah.
but there were definitely moments where I was like, man, like this is like how do I prove myself to like this teacher or just like this person that I actually like belong here.
I know my stuff.
And it's just like, and in reality, it's just all in your head.
For
So
sure.
it's just like, how do I get these thoughts out of here? So
Facts.
Right.
And then just to go a step further than that, coming from Nigeria, we don't have like traditional names and stuff. We're not like Mike or Steve or something like that. So like when the first day of classes, the teacher's introducing himself or herself, saying everybody's names, doing roll
And
call.
then y'all come.
Oh yeah.
right there,
Get to my
right
name.
there.
Yeah.
The roll
They
call.
gotta adjust the glasses and say, I'm so sorry about this. If y'all ain't as soon as I know that, I just raise my hand and say,
Yep.
yeah, that's me. And I've gotten so used to doing that over the course of the 4 years.
Right.
So it's just like it's a little.
When you
bit
see
of
him
stuff.
adjusting the glasses,
Yeah,
like
that's
struggling.
the glasses.
That's when
Let
you
me
be
get ready. Let
like,
me start to say
yeah,
my name.
Like
like,
this
oh,
with the
let me
paper,
sit
they're
up a little bit.
And they're like, oh.
And especially like class of
That's
30
interesting.
people too, like my class or something. And then during Zoom, when everybody went online for Zoom, people never met each other like that. Everybody was online classes, and nobody turns the camera on, so you just show your name. A lot of people, when they saw my name, they thought I didn't speak English or like was some foreign kid or something.
Not to cut you off, but y'all really had to prove yourself.
I really have to
Yeah.
prove myself.
Yeah.
Like once they saw me in person, like, oh,
You're like, this is
This is
not
not-
who you are.
not
You're
me at
a
all.
completely
Like,
different person who I
And low
thought
key,
you were.
like even with me, like I'm different from other people, like whatever. I love getting that look from people, like, oh wow, like
Like, what is he doing here?
He's
Like,
not just that, but he's not who I thought he was.
You thought,
You know what I mean?
right.
Like,
even better.
I'm
yes.
I'm like that. Like, I'm not trying to be cocky.
I don't know
Like,
why.
Bro, you are
You know what I
like
mean?
that.
Like, I was wrong.
Like,
That, yeah.
exactly. Like, I love getting that kind of like that look from people. Like, wow, like,
It was like,
I didn't think you would like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, you know, like y'all said, y'all definitely had to prove yourselves in order to kind of get a sense of that y'all belonged here or whatever. You know,
that was huge, definitely.
Definitely, for sure. So talk about what was that, you know, within the 4 years? Has there ever been kind of a low point within y'all, like freshman, sophomore, junior year? What was that low point for y'all within your 4 years here at LaSalle? You know.
So for the low point for me, definitely had to be some moments where I was just like, man, all my grades weren't really how I want them to be, and it's like you just try your hardest and you just keep on trying, but that really comes down on you. You see all these like people working here, working there, so it's just like that is
demoralizing.
adding. Yeah, that's so demoralizing.
Sure.
And plus you have all that stress from your parents, from just all your friends too. So that all that stuff comes down on you hard. That crashes down on you, and I feel like for me that really crashed down on me. Sophomore year.
Sophomore year. Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, brother?
It was a couple of times. Like early on when I first got to LaSalle, probably that first semester, just having that adjustment, like workload and like having so much free time. So it was like, I had a hard time.
It
like,
takes some getting used to.
It was, I'm not gonna lie, like when the midterm grades came back, I probably had.
Definitely freshman year. Yeah.
Let me just say it was rough. It was really rough.
Same.
I had
Same.
who was it? Will or something. It was like somebody else.
Will. I don't know
Will Ivory. I don't know if you
Yeah.
remember him.
Right.
He had a talk with me about my grades and everything. It was like, what's going on here? Your midterm
Dang.
grades weren't as good. And I knew with myself I wasn't doing the best that I could. But it was tough for me just trying to balance all the free time and like doing the work and stuff and showing up to class on time because nobody's going to be waking up out of bed. Like, 8, time to get up, time to go to this class, time to do this work.
Yeah.
You're on your own. So
as a freshman too, that can like just bring you down so much. Like just
like once you
doing
get
all
like
those
that
thoughts.
D on a test or like you miss a class
that
or like
sucks.
somebody's chewing you
That
out or
sucks.
something.
Right.
It's like it's like the snowball effect. It just
Yes.
gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Right.
And if you don't deal with it properly, it could be too
really
tough to
messes
manage
your head.
sometimes. But
I remember
Definitely.
one time with me, I remember I was working out at like Planet Fitness or whatever. And then you know those Canvas notifications, your grade comes in or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like a big grade,
Yep.
like it was like something I was relying on to like
Yep.
not pass, but like something I wanted to get a better grade
To
on.
boost it up a
to
little
boost it
bit.
up a little bit. And I remember looking at it, I was like, dang, I like low key like bombed this exam. So I was like, I completely just walked out the gym. Like I was full on working out in the zone.
Really?
Once I got that notification, I was like, yeah, nah, I'm out of here. Cause
That's
it just like got me depressed. Like,
That's why
damn,
I kept my Canvas notifications turned off all of college.
Even
I was not trying to hear it until I had to hear it.
That's a
dog.
cheat
I should've done
code.
that.
I should.
Put your phone on do
Done
not
that.
disturb or
Do not
something.
disturb.
Nah, it was just Canvas. Like I turned that. Nah, I did not want to hear from nothing.
I hated getting those notifications.
No.
Like the
Yes,
sound, you know what I mean?
sound, you
Yeah.
know, like-
I don't want to look at Canvas until I open my computer. And
Exactly.
just
I look at
and
Canvas when I open my
glance.
computer.
Yes.
When I'm
Yeah.
in my daily life and stuff.
It's a habit though, cause it's like okay, like this like last test, what I get here, then you see the grade and it's like, oh man,
You can't help
then
it. You can't
rest of
help
the day
it.
you're just buttered.
You're just done for the
you're
day.
done.
For real, like, you know. So talk about how has for me, obviously, like I said, my sophomore year was definitely a pivotal kind of year for me. I was going through a lot, just being here on your own, and you wasn't really doing that because of COVID.
Yeah,
You know what
especially because of COVID.
I mean? Bro, that
especially.
sucked, bro. Like I had one in-person class. It was like 8 a.m. too. I'm like,
man.
bro, like it was
That's
cold. It was like winter was like out there. Just Zoom. I just hated Zoom and all that.
Yeah.
But how did COVID affect y'all a little bit? Talk about that a little bit.
COVID, it really tested my ability to like adapt and like just adjust to certain situations. Like we were our freshman year got completely cut short. Like I was planning on coming back. Oh, spring break, extra 2 weeks or so. That's fine. I'll come back and get right back to school and everything. They shut the campus down. So now it's like, what's next? How am I gonna do my work? How am I gonna see all my friends? Like, how am I gonna interact with people? So it was just finding that balance and just taking your time and just like, okay, this is the situation I'm dealing with. How can I make the best of it?
Right.
And I just tried to make it like a habit of not locking myself in the house. Like try to get outside.
That was me.
Yeah.
That was me.
Yeah,
It was
just-
depressing, bro.
Try to get as much sunlight as I can, just being around people as much as I can be. So it wasn't fun, obviously, COVID being stuck in the house all the whole semester, but you just have to make the best of it. So.
Yeah, just, I mean, like, sort of like what he just said, like, just taking walks and stuff, just seeing people, like, actually seeing people.
You underestimate
with
that.
COVID and stuff.
Yeah.
That for me was huge, because it's like you're just trapped doing work for like the whole day, basically, and then after that, it's just like, okay,
no
go to sleep.
Really
There's no parties, no nothing going on. So it was just you and the books.
Like you finish class
focusing
on
on
Friday,
that,
it's
so
like, all right, damn, what's next?
Everyone's closed.
You go
because
back
of
to your
COVID.
room or you go downstairs.
You had to go to you had to walk to the dining hall. You had to order the food, I think, and then walk to the dining hall.
Yeah,
get the food,
you
come
did.
back and then eat.
So
bro,
isolated.
It sucked, bro. Like for real.
Hopefully that never happens again.
I know. For real, definitely. Facts.
Yeah.
Some dark
A
times.
little bit lighthearted. Talk about what was your favorite. I'm gonna get to me real quick. What was your favorite year here at Salle? For me, it was junior year, bro.
Yes.
That was low key, like just seeing everybody just outside,
That was
bro,
awesome.
after
I loved
COVID.
it. I loved it.
Freshman, not freshman, fall semester, everyone had like mask on and everything.
Right.
But just seeing everyone outside, back
Free.
on campus,
Nothing,
bro, I was like, yo, this is lit.
This is
bro.
lit.
Like,
This
for
is
real,
lit.
like,
Yeah,
it was
because you
almost-
take that for granted.
Yeah, it
you
was
know?
almost better in my freshman year, in my opinion. But
Really? Yeah.
low key.
That's
Talk
interesting.
about that for y'all. What was y'all favorite year being here?
You hit on junior
Definitely
year
junior
for
year,
sure.
right.
But it's time, junior and senior year. Senior year has been pretty easy for me. I say it's senior year because like less workload, but just in terms of like overall like
Fun.
enjoyment, like
Yup.
fun and stuff.
Right.
Junior year for sure.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like what y'all said, junior year definitely was huge for me. Like saw so many people that I met.
Facts.
Met so many teachers and stuff like that. It was just a huge boost for my
Morale
mindset,
for your
morale,
head,
all that
bro.
stuff. It was just huge.
Right.
And it's like this, whether it was COVID that just messed up everything, but this was a huge boost for me.
Different. For real.
I just.
Right.
I look you want to go.
Like-
I look you want to go back to that.
I love
time,
junior year
please.
so much, but
But
it's
that was a fun year for real.
Speaks
We
for
all
it,
lived in
man.
Worcester too.
yeah, Worcester.
For real.
Yeah.
Word.
That probably was like the thing that made it a lot better
Facts.
because like the place I was living at beforehand, it was nice, but it was a lot of people in one space, and there was like 5 people in one house, so it's like kind of cramped up.
Facts.
So then we moved to Worcester. It was a whole different breath of fresh air, man. I really enjoyed myself. and I was able to.
loved it.
It's funny y'all all said y'all junior years because it was my junior year for me too.
Really?
And
I
I-
was junior year.
Wait, because high school was looking my no, it was senior year for high school.
you know,
High school for me, it was junior year, I think, too.
Nah, for me,
Low
high
key
school,
was-
senior,
yeah.
high school, senior.
no, because my junior year might have been different than y'all's because my junior year, like you go to every party, you hear Mo Bamba, Sicko Mode.
Yeah.
That was annoying, but the parties were lit. Like and I just had a good like party life balance that year, so it was. I say junior year for me too.
Yeah,
For real.
Sure.
What was your favorite memory throughout your 4 years here at Salle University? What was your favorite memory, real quick?
That's a very hard question.
Really, for real. I don't know if I have one either.
I don't know if I have one. I mean,
You don't have one?
I don't know. What was my
I could probably name like one of many
Mm-hmm.
favorite memories, but I
Mine,
guess
mine is low key recent. It was like last week. I was in my capstone class, and it was just it was like one of my favorite days ever here at Salle University. Capstone class, senior class, all of us are seniors, whatever. And we was just our professor. He puts us in the hot seat, and everyone just has to say one nice thing about certain everyone in the room, and a lot of people cry, like low key, like I cry, like low key, because I never really thought I could like impact people like that. You know what I mean? A lot of people say like some nice nice things about me for real. And then that night, we all just went out, just had drinks and all that. It was one of the funnest nights here outside. But I forget that was one of them. But what's that one for y'all? Y'all think? For real? I know it's a hard.
Because I'm trying to just
honestly,
decide on like one moment. I don't know if I'd have like one specific moment that stands out from the rest of them. I'd say I have like just a bunch of moments that I really enjoyed. I think any time that I spent on like the quad and stuff, like what was it, late night, like the South to Dark and stuff, like just going to
South to Dark
those
was very
parties
lit.
and like just being around,
Right.
just being around everybody, like those were really fun. So, and I guess like early on there was this one project that I had. I think it was like a Biz 100 project. I'd never really experienced any like
Biz 100.
presentation and like in front of people, like presenting a product and stuff. I'd never really done anything like that before. So to be able to like create a product, go through the whole business plan and of everything, and have to showcase it, present it to like business people, it was something. It was really eye opening.
I just
really
recently did that.
Yeah, how was it?
Biz 100?
It was lit.
awesome.
Yes, for sure. It could be daunting sometimes. It could be kind of
It
it could be
hard.
kind of annoying
It was
sometimes.
definitely hard.
So there's a
But
lot of work.
yeah.
A lot of work.
It's worth it in the end once you finish it.
Definitely,
So.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
What's that 1 year for you, bro?
For
What's
me,
that one
definitely
moment?
that one moment. I'm gonna say I had 2
Yeah,
moments.
talk
I
about
guess.
it.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
So the first one, like you said, Biz 100 was definitely
Your Biz 100.
awesome.
I
awesome
met some
group I
people
had.
from your Biz 100 group.
Yeah,
They were pretty cool.
Shout out Casey, Dom, Tatum.
Oh, wait, I know them.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
I don't know if you, yeah, but that was actually pretty fun. Yes, there was so much work to be done, and we had a pretty unique product, I guess, but still, we passed, so that's all that matters.
Facts. Same.
But yeah, so definitely Biz 100, and then for my other moment, I would probably say all my times at Treetops. I feel like it's random,
Especially freshman
definitely
year.
freshman year Treetops.
Late night treetops too
Late
was
night
a
treetops,
vibe, bro.
all that
Late night
I forgot about all of that, man.
Bro.
I used to get these chicken wings, like, it would be like 12 or something like that. One in the morning. I
Facts.
don't know.
We used to like play all the games and stuff inside there, like the
Damn, I
basketball.
missed that. And they
the
don't even have that
Xbox.
no more, the games and stuff.
All that stuff is gone now.
Yeah.
So,
Damn.
but for me, that's where I met so many of my friends that I still have today.
Facts.
So it's just like, yeah, that was
sure.
huge. That was definitely huge.
For sure. Talk about, your own personal, getting to know y'all right now within this conversation. I could definitely tell that you guys have a positive attitude when it comes to different things. I feel like, talk about, where does that positivity come from? Whether that, if it came from your family or anything like that, do y'all feel like you have a good support system and all that? Where does all that root from? Like the story of you guys, you know what I mean? Like, where does that come from?
From parents and from God. I'm really religious person,
Same, bro.
for
Same.
sure.
Definitely.
So it's the power from Him, and just being able to do all things and just have that confidence instilled through my body and stuff. I struggle with that sometimes.
Word, same.
Just being
Well,
All of us do.
Just
All of us.
that confidence
Yeah, yeah.
stuff.
We're all human.
Second guessing myself, but just having that backbone, just having that support system, my parents, having a higher power, believing in God, just they've helped me out all throughout my college career, my whole life, especially.
Definitely.
What about you, Matt? Definitely, obviously all that, and also this man right here helped me out too.
Appreciate it.
'Cause
I feel bad. I didn't even say you.
Yeah.
I didn't even say you.
I love that.
But,
For real.
he motivates me definitely to be better in what I do, whether it's in sports, whether it's in academically, just
Facts.
friends, all that stuff is mostly him and like
All the people
friends
you're
too that I
around,
have
for
too. They
sure.
just help,
Definitely.
build me up like that. So
Like I said, us men,
Okay.
we go through a lot, man. That it's kind of overlooked,
it's very overlooked.
and I hope it gets better. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a big advocate for mental health and all that.
As you should.
For real. Like, so talk about what has been, how do you think both of y'all have grown within the last 4 years? Develop yourselves. How, throughout the throughout your time here at university, how do you think y'all have grown as a person? You feel like? Do you feel like there's a difference between freshman year Ugo and Iffy, and then senior year?
Definitely.
Man,
Talk about it a
I
little
can't
bit.
even tell you.
I think
man, this.
you touched on it earlier, just being vulnerable, and stuff both of you guys did. I think my freshman year to now, I've just opened myself up tremendously, way more.
Very introverted.
Like, open myself up to more opportunities and like just saying yes a lot more. Back when I was a freshman, I'd say no, like without even thinking about it. If I had any like second thought or anything that could happen, I would always second guess it. I was always thinking of the worst case scenario.
Word.
So as the years went on, and I felt myself as like a passenger sometimes. I was just seeing everything just go by, and I wasn't really having any it wasn't really having any effect on me. I wasn't really doing anything. Like, I'd watch you go out of the apartment, like, what is it, freshman? It was freshman year. We were living at Newman. He'd go out to like a friend's house or like a party, and then I would just be like, oh yeah, I'll have fun. And I'd just be sitting in the room. I
remember that.
Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, why am I just hiding myself? I was like I'm a turtle in my own shell. Like,
Who would you say is more introverted? Or
I'm
extroverted?
definitely
He's
more
more
introverted
introverted
for
Are
sure.
you the
Okay.
youngest?
I'm the younger one. Yeah.
Okay.
3 minutes,
It's
by
opposite,
the way.
opposite.
It's
Yeah.
3 minutes.
Yeah, word.
It doesn't even feel like it's anything.
That's crazy.
It feels like we're the same, but
Word.
he holds it over my head a lot.
Word.
Older sibling type.
Word.
But
For sure.
yeah, it's just opening myself up. Just instead of saying no all the time, instead of just thinking the worst case scenario, what if it's better than you imagine? So I started saying yes a lot more my sophomore year, saying yes to like outings, saying yes to like working on stuff around the business school, saying yes to hanging out with people. Like, and once I started doing that, my happiness level, my mental just started rising and rising.
That's dope.
It was still uncomfortable for me being like a natural introvert, like having to just like revert back. Okay, my social battery's running low. I need to go get out somewhere. It's tough.
That's the biggest challenge, bro.
It's a huge challenge.
That's the biggest challenge, bro. Because my social battery like this.
Yeah, he's introvert. I'm extrovert.
I'm super introverted. You know, and me, like, I never really, like, I've always, like, as introvert as I was my freshman year, like, I just stayed that way. I might have gotten worse, but I'm the way I am for what I feel are valid reasons. But most may disagree, and they might be right for disagreeing. But I feel like they're valid reasons. We're not.
It doesn't matter what you know, what you like, so what you've been through.
Like I said, we all got different ways of being, and you know.
Whatever gets you through life, whatever gets you up in the morning.
And so with me and him, it's definitely night and day. You know, he's more of the
same thing with him.
I can see a little bit. I can see.
I like my alone time, obviously.
Yeah, no, he do.
There's times I want to be by myself. But I very rarely want to be by myself. I very rarely want to be alone for some reason. I don't know. It's weird. That's why I always bother.
Like people, that's why.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I can't help it. You know what I mean?
But that's a great thing. I wish I was like that to an extent. To be honest, like I like my alone time and stuff, but I wish I had that ability to just like stop being in my own head. Like if I see somebody on the street, just hey, what's up? How you doing? Like
I'm like that. I can talk to a homeless person.
I don't really do that as much as I'd like to. I feel like when it's like public spaces and stuff, I only talk to somebody if I have to. Whereas if he'll just talk randomly. We were at the airport one time. We were coming back from a trip, and then there was like these couple behind us, and he just started randomly talking to them. I had my headphones in. In my mind, I was like, Ugo, why are you talking to these people right now?
Told me that.
I told him that afterwards when they left.
Literally, I was just like, I'm bored.
That's how I be. That's how I be.
Let's go meet somebody new. Like,
because I was thinking, like, what if they just don't stop talking? What if they just talk to us the whole time while we're in line? Just trying to scan my stuff and just leave. Like, but I wish I was like you a lot more, like a little bit more, like you a little bit more. Just, but at the same time, I like my alone time.
We all know. I feel like I like it too.
Everyone loves it. I like it way too much.
What about you? But how do you think? How do you think you've grown as a, throughout your college experience here?
So since freshman year, I've definitely grown from what I've seen personally.
For sure.
From inside, I remember just like coming in as a freshman, I was just this young, immature, just like student, obviously college student who just wants to just party, have fun all the time,
You
and then
your fingertips, bro. You got the whole world to you.
I got the whole
when
but
you're young,
literally, like that's how I felt. But then sophomore year, that's when it like hit me. That's like, okay, like I have to start, working harder and stuff. Doing like my work on time and stuff like that. Then junior year started like just to change. Then senior year was like the final like product, I feel like, of who I am right now. And I can like see it from just how I like face certain stuff, just like certain people to just like how I face them. I'm like not always like yeah let's go. Like now I'm just like, all right, let me just plan ahead, see what's in my schedule, then go from there.
So you're a lot less impulsive. You think
I'm just
more before you just agree to do something.
Exactly.
So I've been like that my whole life. I wish I didn't think as much.
What are some of the biggest accomplishments so far y'all think y'all have achieved here at Salle University? Something like that, you know what I mean? If so, anything like that. What's one of that for y'all?
Nothing really comes to mind.
For sure.
I mean, obviously the higher thing, graduating, finishing all 4 years.
Right.
When I think of when I was finishing my freshman year, all the people that transferred or like just dropped out and everything that used to live at Newman compared to like
and there was a lot of them.
Right.
There was a lot more. Like I used to talk to a lot
totally
more
different.
people that lived like on my freshman hall and everything, and I thought they were gonna stay the course. Like my whole thinking was I'm gonna be here all 4 years whether I like it or not.
Right.
So
I feel like that happens at every college.
Yeah.
It happened.
I was about to
Like,
for me, I was
bro,
about to be outta here.
your freshman class would be cut in half.
Cut in
By
half.
the time you hit second semester,
Yes.
bro.
Second
like,
semester. Just like, what?
So the fact that I was just able to stay the course, just stay with
that's
it.
something to be proud of in
So I
itself.
think I'm just proud of that for myself, especially. But
Before we was dealing with some technical difficulties before this, but I wanted to talk about, because I know you said you're very introverted or whatever. One thing about me, like I preach and I'm very like I go by this certain quote, like seek discomfort.
Yeah.
So seek certain uncomfortable situations, put yourself out there. That's something that really keeps me going. You know what I mean? Just because you never know who you're gonna meet, you never know who's gonna be in the room. You know what I mean? That's something I learned from my mom. You know, she's in the fashion industry, and she be dealing with different CEOs, different high profile, you know, people out there in the industry, and just looking at her, just dealing with, you know, how she talks and all that. I'm like, wow, like, geez, like, you know what I mean? So just like with me, like, you know, all of us as college students, just putting yourself out there, you know, like trying to be successful and all that. You know what I mean? That's something I really go by. What do y'all think? You know what I mean?
Definitely that.
Just,
I mean, you got it.
I was gonna say, one of my high school teammates. I used to play lacrosse, and one of my teammates, he used to say this one thing: embrace the suck. Like,
that's a good one.
just
Embrace.
no matter what, just embrace it. Just don't take any shortcuts.
I heard that quote from someone.
Yeah, he
Embrace the
he
suck.
probably got it from somewhere. But
I heard a lot of military people say that.
Yeah, I think he had
Do
some
boot
military
camp,
background.
do boot camp
like,
years.
Oh,
Yeah.
actually, funny enough, he went to a
military school.
Military
Yeah,
school.
he went to
That's what a lot of military has
That's
been
where you
saying.
get that from, yeah.
Just
Yeah.
embrace the suck. Just accept that it's not going to be easy. And once you get past that, it's not going to become easier, but it's easier in your mind. It's like, okay, nothing's going to change. It's up to me to just get through this. And once you get through it, it feels amazing. It's an accomplishment itself.
Definitely.
So,
Well, what about you, bro?
Wait, let me just the
Like,
question was it?
how do you think you embrace the discomfort and like try to put yourself out there a little bit? I didn't really say a question; it was just more of a statement.
It was more of a statement, okay.
but it still stands.
Yeah, for sure. How do you
Still
think
stands.
you? I guess you embrace the discomfort and all that.
I
you
mean,
know?
just like you said, just embrace the suck.
Yeah,
Just, you know,
that's a good
take it how it is. Just be straight up about it. Like, you can't cut corners. You can't just be like
making
excuses about like a certain stuff. Because personally, I feel like everyone goes through something.
Yep.
And it's not about like, you know, like, oh, like this is hard. It's about how you like
How you finish and all that.
how you respond to stuff
yeah,
like that.
definitely.
So, like for me, that's the biggest thing for me, definitely.
For sure.
So that's been a huge part.
It's easy to just to be caught in all the negatives and just focus on that because it's the biggest thing in your mind. But
Definitely.
once you move past that, those aren't gonna last. Those tough times aren't gonna last forever. Only tough people last. So once you get past that, it's smooth sailing from there. You know how to navigate the waters and everything. So
Definitely.
For the battle too, like it's your mind.
it's all
That's
majority
the
of it is
biggest
mental.
battle. It's just mental.
For sure.
And once you get past that mental standpoint, then you're smooth sailing because
Definitely.
your body, it can obviously handle like all types of blows and stuff, but it's your mind that's what really puts you through that stuff.
Your mind has a crazy talent of making the littlest things seem like
Way
the
bigger.
biggest problems.
I used to
in the
struggle
world.
with that.
So,
I struggle with so much
Same.
anxiety, the stress.
Yeah.
Dealing with that in my
Still
head,
do.
it's like, dang, it's like,
Still
yeah, I know.
You feeling like there's a war in your mind,
exactly.
right?
But
I know how that
but
is,
like, sometimes just like
Putting into
step back and
perspective.
just realize that it's in your mind.
it just
So
comes from
it's just not
constant
reality.
comparison. You can't compare yourselves to a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Comparison,
Right.
you're just gonna.
That's our generation. For real. One thing I do to kind of like cope with kind of different anxieties, I have a big test next day or anything like that, I meditate, you know.
Meditation.
Bro, y'all got, if y'all don't do it,
Low-key.
y'all got, that
I've been
helps.
starting to meditate
It
too.
helps.
I've
Get
been
an app.
starting
The app's called Simple Habit.
Simple
Habit.
habit.
And like you get a free trial or whatever, but after a while you gotta pay for that. But you know what I mean?
Free promo right there.
Yeah, sponsor me for real. Like, word, sponsor your boy because you know, I'm a big advocate for that.
Yeah.
But that it low key helps, and low key you're not the first couple tries you're gonna meditate. You're not gonna be good at it. You're still gonna be like wandering in your mind.
It feels like
thinking about-
awkward sometimes when
Yeah,
I do
low-key
it.
It's awkward. I
is.
can't do it, bro.
Low-key
And I think I
is.
talked to you about this before. It's very hard for me to just sit there
It's
and quiet
very-
my mind and focus, bro.
It's therapeutic.
It's hard.
And they give you like like forest music, whatever, like rainforest music.
Oh, like that.
Yeah,
ambiance.
they do, yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
dope, and I'm just like, let me clear my mind real quick. I have a big test amount, and it helps, like for real, like.
How long do you do
can
that for
imagine.
like, at a time?
It was like my whole junior year. Junior year was, that's why I say junior.
I'm,
Like
I'm talking about like when you meditate, like how 30 minutes or
they give you a
like-
certain time,
Oh, certain
like
time.
so like 5 minutes, 6 minutes. Some of them would be 10 minutes. I only did 10 minutes. Like,
But you've been
once.
doing it since your junior year.
Yeah.
Oh.
But now I fell off now. Like
shit.
junior year, I was doing like religiously.
Oh wow.
Which is why like it was like one of the most pivotal years for me. I read a lot too. read a lot of like, you know, motivational books or anything like that. That's something that really like gets me kind of out of my head a little bit.
It's interesting to see like some of the problems, the biggest problems we have can just be solved by just breathing.
Just
taking a
Bro,
breath.
I was just about to say
Breathing,
one thing, because I'm not really good with meditating, like I said, but like one thing I felt like I've gotten good at is like controlling my breathing and my breath. Because I got anger issues. I'm not even gonna hold. Like I have anger issues, so like I had to learn how to really step back and really like learn how to control my breathing. And that really helps me like calm down and stuff.
Of course,
breathing helps you calm down.
If you take 3 deep breaths, sometimes what I like to do, I take a double inhale, just like
That's key. That's key.
And then just exhale. I'll do that like 3 or 4 times.
Especially when you irritated, that be you be letting it out. It feels like
you'll see whether you're irritated after you do the breathing. Like, you'll notice everything is just gone.
Like, it helps so much.
A few more questions, then we're gonna get to this quick rapid fire. Let the people get to know you guys for real. We're gonna talk about basketball, all that for real. Lastly, you know, what's like, you know, a message for the people out there? You know, people that look like us, you know, Black, African American or whatever, going into their college year, their senior year, whatever. What's that message you can give to them real quick? You know what I mean? What's that last word for y'all? You know?
I mean, for me, honestly, what I feel like
in terms
everyone
of like
should do
navigating college.
Yeah, navigating college is try out new things. Like, just be that person that tries out everything. Like, it's embarrassing sometimes, sure. Yeah, it's embarrassing. I know. Yep. It's definitely embarrassing, but it's just like, just having that, like, just mindset of just being like, okay, let me go sign up for this club or like this sports team or that. Like, doing that stuff, it just helps out so much in the future.
One thing I would say is, don't be afraid to ask for help.
For sure.
No matter what it is you're doing, no matter how strong you think you are, there's always going to be something that you can't handle on your own, and you're not going to have any choice but to rely on somebody else. So that's why if you just start practicing it early on in your college career, going to somebody, maybe it's your neighbor or a teacher or anybody at all, just tell them, hey, can you help me out with this? Or I'm struggling with this. Just being vulnerable, it's just going to take you such a long way. Like, I wish I did that. I wish I learned that earlier. I wish I put myself out there a lot more earlier on. But now that I know that now, that's something I have to stress.
For sure.
Don't be afraid to ask for help, please.
Especially with your professors too, definitely. Like,
and they're willing to help you.
Yeah, they're always willing to help you.
And I'm not just speaking just academically wise. This is just all throughout life, whether you're just going through something mental or just something you're struggling with, just don't be afraid to ask for help from anybody. So that's one thing I would stress to the freshmen coming in.
Word. So. One more for you guys. You know, looking back, is there anything you would have done differently within your college experience? What is that for you guys? You know what I mean? What's that one thing?
Honestly, no.
Really?
No, I'm a big believer in everything happening for a reason and everything happening the way it's supposed to. Yeah. So it sucks that it was embarrassing that I had to go through some of the stuff.
Sure.
But it happened. I know now what to do and what not to do in certain situations. And through trial and error and just making mistakes, that's the best way you can grow. That's the best way that you can build yourself up. So, yeah, I'd say that.
Right, bro.
I mean, for me, definitely, like, you know, stuff happens for a reason. And I feel like throughout all my years that I've been here at LaSalle, through every experience I've had, I've always had a lesson. So,
big lessons.
So through, like, with those lessons, I've just, you know, built from that.
For sure.
And I'd probably just say, like, COVID probably was the biggest thing for me, because that just, like, switched me from being this person who was just like, who cares about stuff, and I just made me just mature quickly.
Yeah,
COVID forced a lot. COVID made
forced me just to be.
That's what happened.
For sure.
Be the person who I am right now. So.
For sure, I love that. That's a good way to close out that segment real quick. Let's get to some quick rapid fire. Let the people get to know my guys for real.
Ready?
Iffy.
Ready?
I'm ready for this, man.
First of all, it's the playoffs right now. You feel me?
What?
These guys are Lakers fans.
Lakers
You know, he's a Warriors fan.
Warriors fan.
He got some. And they play tonight. You know what I mean? I'm more of a LeBron fan for real. So I got.
I'm more of a I'm more of a Steph fan. I'm not gonna lie. Like Steph's one of my favorite players, but like
who likes teams like that anymore? It's just
exactly.
Yeah, no, really
mostly.
nobody likes teams like that
Nobody likes
anymore.
teams.
It's really more of a players type of league.
Yeah.
They follow the superstars.
Word.
Giannis, Tatum,
Word.
LeBron.
I'm a Giannis fan too.
I probably
love
respect
that.
Curry the most out of all the other
Yeah,
superstars.
you gotta
like
respect him.
the way that he's been able to carry himself. But he got drafted 09.
Word.
He didn't really start hooping for real, making a name for himself till like 2013 or 2014,
Word.
like when he established himself.
Yep.
So have that run from like 2015 to 2023,
Word.
playing in all those finals,
Insane
changing
run.
the game. He
Changing
changed
the
the way that
The game is
basketball
played.
Like period, bro.
Period.
You see all these kids pulling up from half court for.
Yeah, that's Curry.
That's all. That's
Curry.
They
is
weren't
one of
doing
those.
that because of LeBron or Jordan or that. That's
Yeah.
Curry. So you have to just give credit where credit is due.
Word.
So
For real. So who y'all got in the finals? Because by the time this episode come out, I think it's probably gonna be like the finals. I think. So let's go look ahead real quick. Who
my
y'all got?
heart, I want it to be Lakers Celtics. But
Okay.
what do I think it's gonna be? It's probably gonna be the Nuggets versus Celtics.
I agree.
think so.
Really?
Nah,
It's
hold
gonna
up.
be Nuggets versus
Really?
Celtics.
Hold up.
Unfortunately.
Lakers look good. I'm
Nuggets
not
are
gonna lie,
the-
Lakers look
I feel like the
Really?
Nuggets going regardless. I feel like there's nobody that's gonna suck.
Really?
Like,
I just think the Nuggets are the
Really?
most.
I didn't think.
I think the Nuggets are the most complete team right now.
I think they're the most
Like-
complete team.
Like
I agree.
Start to finish, 1 through 5, they might not be like all star,
Yeah.
like amazing talent.
But Jokic, everything starts and stops
Yeah,
with him.
and
As
Jokic-
long as he's
Yeah, he trusts
healthy,
Jokic.
like everybody else gonna follow his lead.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
He runs the whole
But
team.
Yeah, he
you
runs
can't count
those-
LeBron and AD though, for sure.
Facts.
But
Yeah.
I just think LeBron's age.
I don't
and
think they beat the Nuggets. Bro.
AD's inconsistency. I just
Yeah.
think. And then going to Denver is tough too. That high altitude.
Yeah,
playing them there,
that's
underrated.
a factor.
So just Denver's is going to be too much for LA. Even though the Lakers beat them a couple years ago, I just think
Okay.
now it's just going to be the Nuggets here.
For me, who I think, as a wild card, I'll just say Lakers Sixers. I don't know. I'm just gonna say Sixers because we're in Philly.
Shout out to
And,
Sixers. For real.
But this year, I feel like this is the Lakers' last. I feel like chance
Really? You
to
think so?
to actually be like.
I wouldn't say it's,
Excited
I
about
don't
that.
say it's the last chance.
For
I think
LeBron,
it's
at
our
least, for
best
LeBron.
chance. I think maybe next year will probably be the last chance.
Yeah,
No matter
I
how
agree.
LeBron's gonna be playing
If they
after
bring back that same
they
roster
bring
and
back
like
that
add a
roster,
few more pieces, they could run it back and like
can run-
actually be legit next
Yes,
year.
think so.
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
Maybe
I
add
do
like,
think so.
Maybe add like one more, like a couple more pieces, but for all in all, the
Yeah,
team that they have,
the core is there for them. Like all they need to do is like, okay, maybe sign another vet or maybe sign another shooter.
And also
It's
just,
a bet that they need.
and
You know?
also just play more together. This team was built like halfway through the
Team was built
season. It was
halfway.
like April or something.
Exactly,
So,
exactly.
That's insane.
if they get
That's
a
what I'm
whole
saying.
season
Like they
together,
just add a few little pieces, they can make another run next
Uh-huh.
year. Yeah.
Like think
I
about
hope
it. They
so,
just
man.
made this team in April, and now they're potentially 1 win away from the conference final. Like, going to the
Word,
conference
that's
final.
crazy to think about.
That's a win, even if they lose in the conference
Yeah,
finals.
but
this is still a good team.
regardless, I feel like it's gonna be Nuggets Sixers.
Yeah.
I feel like the Sixers gonna come out this series, and
Yeah, I do too.
I don't say the
I
Sixers
don't
because
know why.
I'm just a pessimist with the Sixers, bro.
Yeah,
I just have
that's so
some.
bad.
I don't have any.
I'm a Sixers
know.
fan,
It's
but
their
like
year this year. It's their year.
I feel like
I feel like it's their
if there's any chance, I feel like this is a chance, and I feel like
I want
if
to.
Embiid shows up, if Harden shows up, you know,
Yes.
it's Harden's
Who
another
can stop
one.
Embiid though? Like I don't
Nobody.
Who can stop
Nobody.
Embiid?
Nobody.
He's the MVP.
Himself.
That's why if they go to the finals,
Same, yo.
Jokic's gonna be fooled, bro.
It's gonna be you. Like,
He gonna be
oh,
fooled.
Don't
Big
let
gas
that.
down the court.
Nuggets fans better hope.
They better,
They don't have to put
that's
the
gonna be a
Sixers.
bad matchup
That's
for the
going
Nuggets.
to be
Period.
Baby food. for that
Baby
win.
food, bro.
Definitely.
Oh my gosh.
For real. So a few more.
Oh, bro, we gotta clip this for the.
I think so too. Yeah, definitely. For sure.
yeah.
Definitely. That'd be perfect. That'd be perfect.
Because all three of us might be wrong.
That'd be perfect.
So we can come back to this.
Word.
Yeah.
Okay, so some would you rathers and some like questions real quick.
All right.
Who was your favorite musician? Who's that favorite musician for y'all? All right,
I was a big Kendrick fan.
Word?
Big Kendrick fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like from the 5th grade, I've been listening to Kendrick.
Word.
He's been my like favorite rapper, artist, whatever you call it. So.
Definitely. For sure. What about you?
I don't have one specific favorite. I probably have a bunch like J. Cole,
Word.
Kendrick, obviously,
Nice.
and yeah, that's pretty much. I listen to everybody.
Same.
Like I don't
I
really
do
have
too.
one particular
I feel
artist I
that.
listen to.
feel
So probably the first one was like J. Cole. It's like I really started listening to before
Word.
anything. But
Bro, I know I keep changing mine. I'm sorry. I know I keep, but I feel like, bro, Chief Keef. I feel like I modeled my whole personality.
Chief Keef got some bangers, though. They do. He does.
I probably I wouldn't say he's my favorite, but Chief. I just realized 'cause I was bumping Chief Keef the whole way.
Yeah,
coming down here, and I just realized I feel like his music got the biggest influence over me for real. Yeah, him and X.
X,
I
feel like X's run was just cut so short.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's had a run like his.
Yeah, no, especially in that such short frame.
He would be top 5 now.
You think so?
At least.
Yeah.
His
following was.
He had a cult following.
Yes, no, it was a cult following for real.
It was a cult following.
It was.
For real. Favorite genre? Hip hop.
Hip hop, yeah, R&B, rap. I like Afrobeats. Afrobeats for sure.
That's been my
from Nigeria. Of course, I gotta like Afrobeats.
Afrofusion's also good too. Like that's like sort of like Afrobeats, but that's sort of like popish.
Okay.
Afrobeats a little bit, but yeah.
And then I have some relatives that live in London, like the UK, so they put me on to like some grime stuff from UK rap and stuff.
You mess with Stormzy?
Stormzy's tough. Stormzy's very tough. Skepta. Those are like the name I'm talking about.
Those are the Storms and Skepta.
If I say the others, then you probably won't even know.
Y'all mess with Central C?
Central C's cool. Yeah,
I mess with Central C.
Central C's nice, bro. My roommate loves Central C. He does.
Yeah, he tough.
Yeah, but for who was Burna Boy too? Afrobeat.
Burna Boy tough.
Burna Boy really started coming out to the U.S. like a couple years ago, for real. For like making a name for himself.
That man blew up now.
Last. Like I feel like everybody, like people who don't like all the Americans that don't really listen to Afrobeats like that, especially a lot of like my African American friends, not like Nigerian like African friends, but like Phil, he listens to Burna Boy. One of my best friends from high school, he's from Richmond. Loves Burna Boy now. He never used to listen to any type of Afrobeats, nothing. So. That's probably one of the biggest artists that he bumps.
A few more real quick. Waffles or pancakes? What's that for y'all?
Waffles. No, I didn't even think about it either. That's the crazy
pancake guy, man.
Second person.
I'm counting them from now on. Everybody else said waffles. I'm a pancake.
I like that.
There's no debate. Waffles and bacon for sure.
Dream car. Y'all got a dream car?
Man, I'm heavy into Europeans, foreigners, that type of wave. So
I go too. There's probably the BMW. I like this one X4 that I've been looking at for a while. This BMW X4. The X6 is nice, but that's just the bread. So I'm just like, let me just stick with the X4. And then there's just Mercedes AMG.
I love the AMG.
The AMG was my favorite.
I want what's it called? CLA 45. I think that's what it's called.
Those are nice.
Bro, like a 2023 type CLA 45 or GT 63. GT 50.
Yeah,
that's like one of my
favorites.
For real.
Hopefully I can.
We pray.
Word, bro. We gonna get there. We gonna get there, man.
We
gonna get there. Word. Okay. Let me see. Celebrity crush. I got a celebrity crush.
This is from a long time. Like I still am. I'm a big like Marvel guy. Like I like the comics, not comics, but the movies and stuff. Mm-hmm. I love the movie Fantastic Four. Jessica Alba.
Back then,
even now, I do.
You seen her courtside that one Knicks game?
Yeah,
she still got it.
She was at the Knicks game a couple.
That's what I'm talking about, bro. She still got it.
I saw all the comments and stuff. It was like. They're like underrating her.
It's
like, oh, give me a second. Oh, she's actually kind of fine. I didn't know, but like all the comments was like, bro, you're asleep. Like she's been that. She's been that since like 07,
especially in Fantastic Four.
Especially Fantastic Four. She was fine, bro. So even like my mom used to like make jokes about it too. Especially, I guess she got married or something. I don't know. When she got married, your wife got married and stuff. I had a huge crush on her.
My crush, Lori Harvey.
That's a good one.
I think Lori Harvey.
That's a good one for real. Shout out to her.
Very fun.
Okay, last one. I try to end this off with every podcast guest I have on here. Where do you see yourselves? It's kind of a, I don't know, it's kind of a weird question because we all don't know. Where do you see yourselves in 5 years? You know, what's that 5-year mark for Ugo and Iffy? You know what I mean? What do y'all
see? That's a good question. Well, I'll probably be in Philly. Hope in Philly or DC, most likely. I think I'll be doing like what I went to school, working like management and like consulting or something. But ideally, just start out there for a little bit and then just make a name for myself, just gain experience, and then eventually I've been thinking about maybe moving out west. Like I used to live in Los Angeles when I was little. Like I lived there for like a couple years or so. So one of my biggest dreams is to go back there eventually. Like when at any point in time, just to go back there. So eventually, if I can get out the west, go to LA, that weather is beautiful, bro. That weather is amazing when you wake up, bro.
Beaches,
Any like I be coming here like walking outside in like February or something. All the snow.
It'd be depressing, man.
It's too cold. Even like a couple days ago, it was like raining.
It was dumb cold and rainy the other day, bro.
Yeah, bro. And that could like depress the mess out of someone.
Yeah.
Oh my god. You don't think about what a 69 degrees, 75 degree weather, beautiful sun can do for you, bro. I guarantee you won't be thinking about half the problems that you have, bro. Yeah.
What's that 5-year mark for you, bro? What's that
for me, hopefully, sort of like you said, just working somewhere with my major, digital arts major, somewhere with like graphic design, with marketing. But I'm hopefully trying to get into like sports.
Okay.
With my major.
Yeah.
So that's the plan. Whether it's in here or it's in DC, hopefully in the West Coast. But overall, my mental health comes first. So
you gotta find the balance.
So I gotta find the right balance between like the
right job and
job opportunities and stuff like that. So that's the job. Biggest thing for me in 5 years.
Definitely.
Also, money is important too.
Yeah, that's very important. We got to survive somehow.
You got to survive somehow, but that's
you got to pay rent somehow.
That's
the plan, man.
Bro, that's that's a good way to end it off. I want to thank you guys. Let's give them a little round of applause real quick.
Appreciate it.
Y'all for coming through.
Any last words y'all got for the people, man? Any last words you gotta say for the people? What's that last word for y'all?
Just to reiterate my earlier point, man, it can turn out a lot better than you think. Just ask yourself that question whenever you're second guessing a situation or anything you're not so sure about. What if it could turn out better than you imagine? And once you think about that, and it does turn out better than you imagine, it's a beautiful thing.
Definitely, bro.
So,
also, I have one thing too. Have positive vibes all the time.
Positive vibes.
Be positive about stuff.
Don't be the guy that brings everybody down in a group.
I'm sorry about that, Joe.
I saw you talking.
Right, just be positive and don't allow someone's thoughts to influence how you think about something.
For sure.
So, because that is the biggest thing I feel like that we struggle with.
Definitely.
Right now.
Yeah. Others' opinions.
For sure.
And just having just a happy mindset can really change so many parts of your life.
Definitely, bro. I love that. It's a good way to end it. Like I said, appreciate you guys for being on here, for sure.
Thank you for having us, man. Thank you, TJ.
Sure.
Thank you, Tory.
Appreciate it, man.
Definitely, for sure. And we're on to the next, man. It's just, we're trying to get to episode 10. I think we're going to get 11. By the time it's all over, I think we're going to get 11. Because we need a last goodbye from, like, just me and you.
Gotta have the official.
We got to have the official thing. Farewell episode.
Started with y'all, ended with y'all.
Well, exactly, for real. So, like I say, appreciate you guys, for real. You know what I mean? Y'all my guys, for real.
Thanks for having us, bro.
I'm hopeful for the future for both of y'all, for real. Let's keep in touch, whenever, for real.
Always.
So, that's episode 9, for real. I'm all over the place, but for real. Now we're on to episode 10. So, feel free to share, like, subscribe, share it to your friends or anything like that. Because I feel like it's a movement. I love what I'm doing right now. I'm comfortable with what I'm doing. So yeah, see you guys next time. Appreciate you guys.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned
for the movement, bro.